Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of our Starfinder Drift Crisis live play. My name is Alex Speidel, my pronouns are he, him, and I am your GM for this episode and all episodes of this Starfinder Drift Crisis live play. We've got 4 wonderful players here whose characters have been going through the ringer on a cruise ship that has experienced the Drift Crisis, so we'll go ahead and introduce them to you once again now. My friends, lovely to see you again. If you want to remind the people who you are playing, and where they can find you on the internet, we'll start with my friend Michelle. How are you this lovely day?
Hello, I'm doing great. My name is Michelle Bradley. My pronouns are she, her, and my little character's pronouns are also she, her. I am playing a Skittermander named Camembert. I have an affected French accent for no reason that makes any sense in this world. I am a precog. I am the ship's entertainment director. And I have a penchant for the fancy, and I just love looking at this picture of I'm holding a clipboard and a glass of wine and a pen. I'm just like doing everything at once. I'm killing it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to do in your job. Is you've really got to be on top and have 4 things at once. Next up, London. How are you this lovely day?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. My name is London Carlisle. I use he/him pronouns, and I am playing this handsome halfling here, this wonderfully mustachioed bartender on the ship, Tam Collins. Tam is as I mentioned, he's a bartender, but he's also a biohacker. And he's always ready with all the injections, the serums, and all that good stuff. You can find me on the internet, at London Carlisle on Twitter, Instagram, whatever have you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, yes. Tam's there mixing up some drinks, and he's got some more for his players, I'm sure, this time. Next up, Chelsea, how are you this lovely day?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. And if you're curious about who I'm playing, hi, I'm ChelseaBytes. My pronouns are she, her, along with my character, Hopper, who is a Lashunta mystic, who truly just is a full customer service suite, here to bring you everything that you need as our ship goes down. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Love that description. Slightly ominous. Delightful. And last but certainly not least, Jim, hello. How are you this fine day?
I'm doing all right, and today I am going to be playing Gary, an SRO soldier and ship security officer. I'm Jim. I forgot to do that first. You can find me on the internet, on Twitter at EvilJimJam. Sometimes I'm on Paizo's other Twitch productions, and other times I'm over on the DAT Network's Twitch productions. But that's me, and that's Gary. And, I'm just here to punch things. So give me something to punch. Let's make it happen.
That's what Gary's here for, right? Security and, having moral quandaries about, damaging company property. So love that for them. So yes, our four Opulos Corporation staffers here have been employed on the Void Empress, which has recently experienced some sort of planar catastrophe. They are currently on their way up through the levels of the ship to try and make contact with whoever is in charge upstairs and figure out why the lower levels have been cut off from power and what they can do to help the people out down there. They recently made their way through a level unfortunately infested with a number of undead. They made their way through a very, very spooky level. Made it through safely. For now, we'll see how that goes. And where we last left them, they were being beckoned into another room of some sort by a mysterious android who perhaps has rescued them, perhaps has another fate in store for them. But we will find out as we jump into this episode of Starfinder Drift Crisis. And we are back. So our 4 employees, out of breath, have just rushed into what looks like it used to be a stateroom and, could still be if it was fixed up and the holes in the walls were repaired and the torn up mattress was maybe slightly less torn. But you were beckoned in here by an android with these sort of green nanites and circuitry running through their body. And as the last of you rushes in, they close the door behind you and they turn and they say to you, "Greetings. Are you undead?"
Do we look undead? No, we're not undead.
You do not look undead to me, so that is why I beckoned you in, but I do have to be certain to keep us safe. I am delighted to hear that you are not undead. Who are you?
Oh, I am Tam. I'm a bartender on this vessel here, and these companions can speak for themselves.
Absolutely. And personally, I'm a little conflicted at the moment. Who are you? And what are you doing on the ship?
Ah, yes, of course. Greetings. My name is Instance. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am a passenger aboard this ship. I was going to say I was a passenger, but I suppose I still am. However, this is not quite the vacation I signed up for. At any rate, I am here on the ship. This is my companion. And they sort of look around. Cividia, where have you hidden? And you hear a little voice from under the bed say, I'm under here. Are they safe? And they say, "Yes, I do believe they are not undead." Oh, okay, good. And you see scuttle out from under the bed a small individual, probably about the height of Camembert, maybe a little shorter. Basically what looks like a small insectoid, sort of like an ant, if they were, a couple feet tall, scuttle out holding a technological device of some sort, and they say, "Hi, I'm Cividia. It's why are you here? Where did you come from?"
2 passengers? What happened to you all following the safety protocol? We'll be sure to assist you.
Well, I'm not a passenger. I was working up on the upper decks, and I came down here. Were you on this deck?
And I'll look over to Gary, and I'll say, "I'm sure Gary could provide a report."
Gary actually is really just trying to get sort of as everybody else is talking. I'm just trying to see if I get a sense that these 2 are telling the truth at all. Whether I know, because one of them claimed to be a passenger and the other one claims to be an employee. So I'm going through all the data banks trying to figure out, is that true? Are they supposed to be here?
Sure. So this will be very funny. I would like the SRO to make a sense motive check for me.
Yes. Probably something that SROs are known for, renowned for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Super good.
Yes. That is a 2 on a natural 1. So...
Gary, you have absolutely no idea. You are so rattled from your, recent encounter. You've just, exerted a lot of energy sort of pulling your compatriots through air vents to try and get them away from the undead that were tracking you, that you are just, your circuits are scrambled. You just don't know.
So I think instead of providing a report, Gary draws himself up to his full height, pulls out his flame pistol, steps between his companions and these 2 newcomers, trains the pistol on the small ant-like creature, and says, "Please provide identification and employee number, or I will be forced to terminate you."
And she immediately panics. She drops the device that she's holding. She says, "I'm Cividia. I was a science technician on the bridge. Please don't hurt me, please." And as she cowers away from you, you can see sort of the remnants of the Opulos Corporation logo on the shoulder of the shirt or jacket that she's wearing. But you have clearly scared the bejesus out of her.
Great. I'll stand in front of Gary and say, "Okay, let's calm down. I'm sure we can resolve this in a very diplomatic manner. Please, just put that away, Gary. I'll handle it from here." And then I'll turn to them. I'll say, "Cividia, was it? And I didn't quite catch your name."
My name is Instance. It is a pleasure to meet you. It is not so much a pleasure to meet your robotic friend yet. We are not enemies.
Thank you for the clarity. Instance, Savidia, let's kind of walk through how you ended up here, so we can ease my friends for just a second. And I'll see if I can find something in my bag. Do you guys need any help? Are you hurt?
We are not in need of aid right now. Actually, Chelsea, if you want to have Hopper make a diplomacy check, we'll see if you can defuse the situation for the moment.
Let's try that. Let's do it. 27. Boom.
27. All right. So, you have so much experience, diffusing hostile, customers and guests. So this comes, I'm sure, very naturally to you. But Instance says, thank you for the offer of assistance. We have been hiding here for approximately 16 hours and 32 minutes and 12 seconds. Or rather, I have been here for that long. Savidia has been here for approximately 7 hours and 9 minutes. I took refuge here when the deck was compromised. It seems that the creatures outside have little interest in me, perhaps because I do not need to breathe. But they are hostile, so I hid, because that seemed wise. My friend Savidia here, I found running from the creatures outside. Savidia, would you like, and you can just see her sort of, still kind of shivering and cowering away from Gary. Perhaps when she is calmer, she can tell you more of where she came from. For now, do you require rest? I ask forgiveness that I have little sustenance to offer you. I am growing rather worried about my lack of food, as I do require food to function.
Do I have any snacks, from when we went to the snack shop?
You probably got a little bit of stuff. You probably took some rations with you when you started moving up through the decks just in case, so you can probably offer some snacks, sure.
Okay, I'll hold on to that for now, and then I'll turn to Tam and Camembert, and I'll say, I guess we'll have to take some tag-alongs when we return back to the group, right?
You mean to the lower decks? I suppose if we can go through the zombie mob back there again, that would be a very bad idea. So hopefully we can just go up and stay there. I don't know.
Yes. I really, truly hope there's another route. I'm gonna take a look around. Yeah.
Sure. As you say that though, you hear Savidia almost kind of whisper. She's still very spooked, but she's like, I wouldn't go back down if I were you. It's dangerous down there.
Quite. And I'll start looking around.
Before you do that, can I offer you a drink? Tam would like to pull out a drink to help you with your perceptiveness, if so. So I have this Dragon Sight serum that I would like to offer to you. So I was like, hold up 1 second. I got a little something for you. If you're looking around, he reaches into his little kit there, does a little mixology, and then presents this sort of glowing ruby red liquid to you in this little glass, a little fancy glass.
Tam, how did you know I was parched? Thank you so much. And I will take a whole swig, finish it. I'm sure it tastes just as delicious as it looks. Definitely a little fiery because it's dragon fruit.
Ooh, yeah. And it's a +2 insight bonus to perception checks.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna add that on. That is a 21.
A 21, very nice. So you can sort of look around the room. There's not a ton of light. They have sort of one lamp that's kind of flickering in here. As I said, it definitely this, used to be a stateroom and still is. It's clear that the room was sort of thrown out of kilter when the crisis happened, that you fell out of the drift, and probably this was not Instance's initial stateroom because the luggage and everything appears to have been gone through by some sort of creature. You're not sure, perhaps the creature's outside. As far as, treasure, there's not a ton here in this room outside of, Instance and Savidia and anything that they might have on their person. Not sure if there's anything else in particular you're looking for.
So there's another exit other than the way we came in?
Yeah, this room, there's another door, but you would know that, up here on the, on this next level of decks, that would probably go to, a bathroom. There's not another exit in this particular room.
Oh my. I think we may have a problem. Nothing to be concerned about just yet. Maybe we'll put our heads together and figure out a meaningful solution. And I'll go to Camembert and I'll say, I don't know if there's another way out. We'll have to check out and see if there are any exits in the bathroom.
Oh, that is not. Maybe there's air vents. I can fit certainly any space, but I don't think our larger friends could do that. So we might have to go back out to the zombie room. Incredible. What a great plan.
Oh, I truly hope not. But that's a really smart idea. I like that. We can look for vents and see maybe if you could hail some help or find another route, or I don't know, maybe we could just blow a wall open? I mean, the ship doesn't look very good in the first place.
That sounds like maybe we should ask Gary if he has any schematics of these floors, so we have an idea of where there would be an opening, but it's unclear because some of the ship is, like blasted in half and not attached to the ship anymore, so we have to be careful about the holes.
Absolutely.
I want to take the second to open up that black case that I got in the previous adventure. Maybe we picked up something useful up last time when we were running through the holes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can pop that sucker open and take a look at what's inside of it. It's sort of, like a protective case. There's like a foam insert holding something inside of it. As you open it up, it's not clear exactly what you're looking at. It's kind of this lump of plastic and metal. You can look at it. It's clear it's intended to plug into like a suit of armor or something, so it's probably an armor upgrade. If you wanted to try and identify it, it would be an engineering check to figure out what this thing is.
That's a 13 total.
A 13 total. Okay, yeah. You are not sure what this thing does. It's got circuits. It's got a battery of some sort. There's like a little speaker or something on it that's odd. But beyond being an armor upgrade, you're not really sure what this thing is.
Looks like it's just trash. I'll give this to Gary. He likes knickknacks, and I throw it at Gary.
Gary, what are you doing? Are you still like interposing yourself threateningly in front of this terrified ant creature, or have you stood down at this point?
Yeah, so once I noticed that they at least are wearing the remnants of a uniform that I would recognize, Gary puts the flame pistol away. And if I see no immediate threats, I have no interest in maintaining a threatening posture. I don't think that Gary has I haven't made any other attempts to connect with these two, purposely sort of distancing myself from them. But I'm at least at the moment not actively threatening them. Other than that, I've been trying to devise plans to get out of here safely, and I think I have the perfect one. So as Camembert is finishing with the item that she's just thrown at me, which I'll make a check to identify in a minute here, but I want to approach the others and say, I believe that I have an escape plan. As you know, this deck is overrun with undead creatures, but I believe I can destroy them all, or at the very minimum, buy you all enough time to get to the upper decks. The clearest path out is for me to go and engage all of them in single combat. You will then take the opportunity to run to the upper decks. I will keep you safe.
You're going to solo these undeads?
That sounds like a very noble plan, but what will you do? Just perish with all the zombie corpses, or...?
Yes, I will likely be destroyed, as I am very strong, but incapable of taking all of them on.
Gary, that seems like a good plan, except for the part where I believe you stay behind and get eaten by the zombies. Is that really the end result you want?
Absolutely not. There is no chance whatsoever they'll eat me. I am, of course, made of metal and circuitry.
Right.
I will be destroyed, but I will not be consumed.
Yeah, they could rip you apart. They could do so many things. We can't have you solo these undead. We're not leaving you behind.
But you would be safe.
But you wouldn't. We're a team.
Indeed, it is my purpose not to be safe in these circumstances.
Have you been drinking?
I mean, perhaps you could
I
put a
don't
little effort into surviving. Maybe you make distraction. We all go together. We have a big group now. If these other two, this passenger and this other crew member would like to come with us to the upper decks, maybe they have something to offer as well.
I don't want to go up there.
Oh, you want to stay here?
I came down here to warn people.
About the...
About?
Okay. And she sort of, Savidia kind of, like, pulls herself together and, like, stands up after sort of having a moment, and of being very scared of the new people who've arrived, and she says, there's some bad things up top. I mean, everyone up there is, like, having a really good time and stuff, so, like, that's fine, but, the lady who's in charge, Miss Opulos, she's not very nice, and she's gonna do some bad things to the people on the lower decks. And I came down to warn people that they might be in terrible danger.
What kind of horrible things? If you wouldn't mind me asking.
She's really concerned about, like, the bad PR of, like, all the people down there who have, like, lost power and, like, just had, like, a really bad time, and she's worried about, like, them, like, going back and having, like, all kind of bad things to say about the corporation. So she's trying to figure out a way to make those lower decks go away.
Do you mean to tell me that she intends to destroy Opulo's company property?
I mean, I guess technically, but it's her corporation, so I mean, she doesn't know how to, like, yet, but she's trying to get the technicians like me to, like, figure it out. That's why I left, because I couldn't do it.
I understand. Unfortunately, I will not be able to sacrifice myself to the undead outside, as I must protect the ship at all costs. And I must stop the destruction of Opulo's company property, even from those who own it.
I'm really glad to hear you've come around, Gary, on the not dying thing. Thank you for that. Just a reminder, you are a sentient being, even though you are robots. Your life has meaning, all that good stuff. I'm a little concerned about the whole let's destroy the lower decks thing. The people, there's lots of people down there. Creatures, other robots, of course. Do you think our new mission should be to perhaps get to the upper decks and stop this somehow? Because they're not going to help us at this point.
I would agree.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, why? We also want to know why. What's wrong with the lower decks? Does she not value us? Does she not value the people there? It's something messed up about that.
The politest way that I can say this is corporate greed.
That sounds right.
Right on.
Camembert, you were saying?
Oh, just that, my whole goal of this ship is to make sure everyone had a great time. Destroying them seems like the opposite of that, so I'm all in on the, getting to the higher levels and trying to change their minds very politely.
Safety and satisfaction is my number one protocol, along with keeping my customers happy. So I also wouldn't like to see them fall and perish with the ship. Absolutely not. And I will turn to Gary and I'll say, I think it's time that we find a way out of here. Do you have any schematics or knowledge or overrides that we may be able to use? And I'll also turn to Instance and Savidia and ask for their assistance as well, if they've noticed anything or they have any other information, just stuff like that.
Savidia will sort of pipe up and say, I do have schematics, and I did come down from the upper decks, so I know how, I came down. It wasn't, super safe, but, the other ways looked worse when I sort of looked. There's a lot of, automated fail-safes and stuff that have been triggered, a lot of locked doors and stuff, so I tried to find the safest way. and the fastest way to get down here and warn people. So that's what I did.
We will need details on exactly how you accomplished this so that we can get back to the upper decks.
Yes, of course. And she'll, she can exchange data with you and give you the particulars. But, in short, from here, she basically went through kind of the big open concourse on the second class, or rather, the Starliner upgrade, decks. She gives you a particular passageway that, like, none of the automated failsafes have been triggered when she was there, that she went through from there, and from there you can get to the upper decks fairly easily, so she can give you kind of the details of that particular route, although who knows how it's changed in the past 7 hours and however many minutes she's been here.
As long as we have a path to take, then that's really all. That's all we need. A way out that doesn't go through the undead.
Well, I mean, there's still probably maybe undead in the hallway outside to distract, but I didn't see any on my way down other than those that I ran from. Yeah.
A manageable number is sufficient.
Maybe for you.
It does seem that we have a route and we have a mission. I do, however, suggest that we spend some time in shutdown mode here. It was a little bit of a joke. I will shut down, and you will go to sleep. I know what sleep is. I'm aware.
Oh, that's very funny, Gary. I do not know what your grasp of time, space, and humanity is. Some of days it's a little hard to tell.
I'm happy to hear you say that, Camembert. I've been working on a Type 5. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please. Go ahead right now. Yes.
Uh-oh, I seem to have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle. I thought you would simply say no. I don't actually have any more jokes to tell you.
Gary, first rule of improv, if someone's asked you a question, you always say yes.
I have a lot to learn about entertainment.
Well, while
sad.
everyone is getting to know each other and their material, I'm going to get everybody settled. Is there anything that you guys would like? Savidia, instance? And I'll pull out as many snacks as I can that I had. And I'll try to make the place a little more comfortable so we can rest.
Sure. I mean, with 6 of you resting here, it's a nice stateroom because, again, it's on, the second class decks. You'll be a little cramped, sort of fairly close to each other, but you can certainly make yourselves a comfortable enough place to stay on the level full of undead creatures outside. So it's an interesting choice, but I love it for you. You can certainly do that over time, and Instance and Savidia will be very grateful for any food you can provide, as they haven't really been able to forage because, again, of the undead outside that are an issue.
I hope we can rest with all the noise.
I think Gary could just, literally post up in front of the door as sort of a physical block to it and just shut down. Plug into the wall and shut down for a while. But before actually doing that, I never did officially make that check to try to identify the thing that Camembert threw at me. So I did want to do that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and make an engineering check for me.
Not good. That's a 10. I don't know what it is either.
So far, you have rolled 2 natural 1s today.
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, doing great. All right, okay. You have no idea what this thing is.
Fantastic. I'll just set it on the floor and wait, and then shut down.
It's just trash.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Did anyone else get stuff from that room? I can't really remember as a player. Was it just me who got the case?
There were a couple others, I believe.
I have some stuff in my pockets too, I believe.
Yeah, as I recall, Hopper picked up a serum of some sort that you hadn't identified, and Tam has something that you knew was a spell gem, but you hadn't taken any time to identify what it was exactly.
Yes, this little crystal here. Interesting. Yeah, can I take time to do that now?
Do you have mysticism?
I do not.
Okay.
Can I ask someone that has mysticism to identify it for me?
That you can definitely do.
I mean, I'm right here. And 10 already.
I'm rolling bad. You. Please use Hopper.
Do I roll twice for both?
Yes, it is. It would be mysticism to identify both items.
Well, I think I have something to help with that as well. Another drink.
Nice.
I'm just giving you all of the cocktails here.
I appreciate it.
Eox Deliquesce, Tam says with like a flourish and a little spin and then like a split and then back up. And he pours from this like rectangular bottle into, looks like a whiskey glass of sorts. It's like a black liqueur that he extends to you for +2 to mysticism checks.
I take a healthy swig of that, and I thank Tam for being so considerate, so kind, and I will try to roll this. All right, 22.
Which one is that for, the serum or the gem?
The gem, since they asked and gave me a drink.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I will say that will probably be enough to identify this item, because I want it to be. This is a spell gem. It's basically a one-time casting. If you hold the gem, you can cast the spell that's within it. The spell within it is the spell Negate Spell. How many times can I say spell in one sentence? Which basically, if someone is casting a spell, you can say, I don't think so. Some might call this counter spell, but that's not in this game.
I relay all of that to Tam, and then I will try to determine what this serum is. It is 1 less than my last roll.
So this is, I will say that this is a serum that you probably haven't seen before, but you can sort of figure out its effects. It's a lovely pink, sort of bubbly serum, which is sort of iridescent and kind of changes hues as you look at it. It is, from a mechanical standpoint, it is a serum of Phase Fickle Fancy. Say that 5 times fast. Which basically has 2 randomized effects whenever you drink it, some of which are beneficial, such as bonuses to AC or D20s. Others might make you, like, change colors constantly, or speak in sing-song rhyme for a minute.
Oh, wonderful. I say this one is a very cute serum, but it's also a little spicy on the side, so just careful when you drink it. It may help or it may slightly hinder. And I'll just put that back gently in my pocket.
All right, anything else anybody wants to do before you all see if you can take a long rest here?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm done.
Any more engineering checks on that stupid thing that I threw in the ground?
At this point, the 2 of you have already tried to identify them,
Okay.
so...
It's just trash. That's fine. We just...
You could, if you want, see if either Cividia or Instance could do anything to identify it if you wanted.
Yeah, if you don't want that little knick-knack I picked up, and I sort of hand it over to, I guess, Instance. Instance, I guess, for your troubles aboard this ship, perhaps the consolation prize. I do not know what it is, but maybe it's useful to you.
They will take the sort of lump of plastic and metal and say, "Thank you. I shall treasure it forever."
Oh, amazing. Great. Yeah, I made a friend. Okay, that's good. The item was useful.
If everyone is done, you can certainly try and rest as long as you want. It is an unpleasant evening if you would like to, spend it here. You hear the occasional shuffling and moaning of creatures outside, but they don't appear to be aware of your presence in this room right now, so they do not disturb you. So if you would like to take a long rest, you may do so.
Okay.
Do it. Click the button, it's done.
All right.
All right, so you all have a somewhat restless night's sleep as you all sort of... There's concerning things outside. There may be some worries in your mind about what's to come, but you can all awaken the next morning, refreshed, rejuvenated, with spell slots and resolve points back. What would you like to do now?
Go to the upper decks. Using the route we were given by our little ant friend, Cividia.
I'll make sure that we're prepared with, all our stuff, everything's gathered. And I'll inquire Instance and Cividia one more time. Are you sure you don't want to come with us?
I don't don't think that would be best. I did it once. I don't want to do it again. And she's scary. Miss Opulos she's scary, and I think if she saw me, she wouldn't be happy. So, no, thank you. I will find someplace safe to hide. Maybe find someplace to escape. I don't know. Instance, what do you think? And Instance says, I will stay with you, as I am also attempting to survive and escape this boat. Ship. It is a ship.
I'll point them back to the group that we have holed up in the lower decks, just in case they want to, gather supplies or meet with other people before they escape or whatever they need to do. And that is where I'll leave them.
Yeah, they'll sort of say, if we see an opening in the hordes of undead outside, we will be sure to attempt to make our way to the lower decks and reconvene with them. But for now, there are a lot.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well. What is your plan to get past the undead outside?
Mm-hmm.
The silence fills me with confidence.
Good question.
Besides running, I don't sure what else we can do.
Gary already offered to throw themselves at the horde and make a final stand until he's torn apart, but nobody else seemed to like that idea, so that was all Gary has.
We like Gary. We have a route. So I want to pour over the route for just a second. So this isn't necessarily going back the way we just came, correct? Like we're going in another direction. Is it just as long as the way we just came?
So there's sort of this big, big central concourse where there are bars and swimming pools for all the guests and stuff that extends up several stories. That's a little ways from where you are, definitely closer to where you are than where you started on this floor, those stairs that you initially came up. And then from there's a few more corridors and hallways to get up to the start of the premium levels, as you will.
Okay. I have a protocol where I can overheat, to say the least, and hopefully I can use that a few times in the most dire of situations. So I'll share that with the group, and I'll be able to harm some people or harm some creatures in a cone. So if we're in a tight hall, that might be useful. So I'll follow behind or near the back. And then also, I think we could try to sneak through. I could detect thoughts or sense for emotions to see if there's stuff ahead. So we could try to sneak past. There's nothing else that I know about these undead that we could exploit, right? We just purely know that they're undead and that they can do these very scary attacks if we lock eyes effectively.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If you lock eyes, they can sort of try and steal your breath. They are
great.
They are undead, so they are mindless to some degree, but you had some luck as you were sort of running through with distracting them and doing the look over there's a rock and going the other way. So there is some, if you had some sort of clever idea, you could try that in addition to just kind of running through and hoping.
I could make a very loud noise by throwing an object down the hall. I have telekinetic projectile. I could do that if that's helpful to the group.
I'm up for whatever idea. Gary has nothing in the way of subtlety or stealth or literally Gary's idea of throwing themselves at the horde is about that's the limit of their usefulness in terms of a sneaky type of plan. So whatever abilities anybody else has, I don't know if the casters have ghost sound or any kind of illusions or anything that they could throw out there.
I can assist with the closing doors behind us. I have the ability to lock doors. I also have overheat, and I can assist with the disguising ourselves. Is not very useful in this situation, unfortunately.
I have my halfling stealthiness, but that's about it. That doesn't really extend to the non-halflings in the party. So that's about it for me, I think.
So perhaps the plan is we go out, we try to stealth if we can. If we can't, then we throw things and run.
I turn to Tam and I say, it would be so very helpful if we could just get a peek, because there's only one entrance, I think, just to confirm. If you could take a look and see what our situation is, and then we could go from there.
All right.
You are the quietest, I think, of us. If it's too much to ask, I apologize.
No, not at all. I will take a look. I will see what I see, and I will be quiet when I do it.
Yeah, just pop open the door and like take a peek out.
Yes, but very slowly and stealthily at first, too.
Absolutely. I will say that, opening the door itself will not necessarily require a stealth check. It'll be like once you start moving. So if you want to just make a perception check as you look out the door and sort of take a survey of the hallway outside, you can do that for me.
Ooh, 24.
24, yeah. So you look out, the lighting in the hallway is, fairly dim. Again, it's just emergency lighting that's out there. You can see, the hallway sort of extends, in front of you. Off to the left, sort of, you can see one creature just kind of shuffling very slowly away from the door. You hear a little bit more movement in that direction. You don't see anything else outside the door at this moment.
Okay, so I'll relay that information. I'll stress, this creature's moving pretty slowly. We're kind of behind that. We might be able to get around some way, but there is more movement off in the distance. So I'll just tell them all that. That's what I saw.
Okay. Do you guys think we're ready?
I guess. I've got one other dumb idea. Do you think it makes any sense if I cast a quick change on all of us to look like we are also zombies? I don't know. Maybe they can smell us. I'm not sure how perceive which is alive and what is not alive, like what is food and what is not. But I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't think it would hurt at all.
Tam seems to be able to sort of stealth itself along.
Okay. Okay.
If you disguise yourself as an undead creature, like disguise self, I don't know if that allows you to change your appearance to be undead.
Yes.
Which if it did,
no.
you could try that and see if it just gives you an option. I would say
you can definitely make yourself look undead.
Yeah, altering your form. Okay. All right, let's do this thing. Does everyone else
the only
agree?
person I think who's a serious liability in terms of stealthiness is Gary. Like I do not sneak. So you can either we can make Gary invisible, or we can just say make everybody else as stealthy as possible, and Gary is literally just the bait. I won't actually throw myself into the horde and get torn apart, but I'll do my best to survive. But we could just use Gary as bait.
So I think I should make Copper and Gary invisible. Tam, good luck. Me, disguise self. How we feel?
Yeah.
I'll also try to make a distraction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this thing. I'm going to cast this so you guys can see the spell.
So before your eyes, Gary and Hopper vanish from sight. Cam, what do you look like when you make yourself look like an undead? Tell me what this looks like.
Boy. So I look a little like myself, except that my fur is coming off in many places. The color of my fur is now a dim gray. My hat is on the wrong angle, and I don't like that very much at all. It looks as if the skin on my face is coming off. I'm missing. It looks as if one eyeball is not there, and my one of my arms is sort of dangling from a sinew. It's really gross. And I tried to enhance the look by shuffling weirdly, like I saw the other zombies doing.
Very good. And Tam, meanwhile, just stealthily steals out into the hallway.
And then he just drops down and slinks out.
All right. And then Hopper, you said you wanted to cause a distraction by throwing something, right?
Yes, if that's possible.
Absolutely it is. There's rules for that and everything. So here is what I would like from you all. From Hopper, I would like a bluff check to cause a diversion.
Love
From
that.
Cam, I would like a disguise check, which you do get a +10 bonus to because of disguise self. Gary, I would like a stealth check with a +20 bonus because you are invisible. And Tam, I would just like a normal stealth check from you.
So I
22.
rolled a 38 for disguise. Yes, nice.
A 38 on a natural 20, I should note.
Rolled a natural 20 for that bluff.
Woohoo!
Natural 20 for a total of 29. And Gary, what's your stealth check?
34.
Nice. So I will say with those checks, I will say that, you know, all of you working together in such great tandem, you are able to sort of make your way through the several hallways that you need until you get to that central concourse that I mentioned. And then you can shut the door behind you and lock it real tight so that no creatures follow you.
I feel like we're locking instance in Savidia just in a tube.
They said they wanted to
those
stay
That'll be
behind.
fine. That'll be
Poor
fine.
creatures.
We tried.
Okay.
They made their
They did.
choice.
Wow, dark.
So as you sort of arrive in this large, you know, central concourse, you can see that, you know, this area has, you know, it used to be, you know, a lovely set of swimming pools and bars, even some like gaming casino style tables for guests. You know, there's a grand piano sort of at one end near a cocktail bar that the guests would have enjoyed. But the thing that really captures everyone's attention is this, you know, huge 30-40 foot wide glass tube in the center of the space. And you can see right now, you know, that there's this foliage in it that it was sort of used as, you know, decor and entertainment for the guests to come and gawk at what was inside of here. But it's clear that this deck has also kind of, you know, taken a beating as a result of things. You know, things are knocked over and broken and smashed, and you can see some what looks like more recent, you know, damage or decay, or just, you know, not quite destruction, but just other things that have been caused by what look like animals of some sort. And as you look around, you see the motion of several, like, you know, very small creatures just off sort of to the other side of the room that you can't really identify from this range, just sort of moving around.
I mean, Gary's comfortable moving forward, head quite literally on a swivel, doing constant 360 visual scans.
I will look around the stateroom and see if there's anything useful around, of course.
Gary and Hopper, you can both make perception checks as you enter this huge space, just kind of get a sense, see what's going on.
23.
Wow, we rolled the same thing.
Twinsies.
Nice.
As you move into this space, you don't really see anything that's particularly useful necessarily here, but you do start to make out the creatures that you see sort of moving around, and you can see that there are several furry small creatures of various sorts, which is odd and unusual. And one of them actually starts to move towards you a little bit, and you can see that it's you know, it's this small creature. It's got a big bushy tail, white fur, pointed face, and little claws, and it just sort of hops up to Hopper's feet and sort of looks up at you expectantly.
Do I have like one snack left?
You probably have some snacks left. Do you want to feed this thing a snack?
Absolutely.
All right. Do you want to know what it is, or are you just feeding it a snack?
I'm feeding whatever this thing is a snack. Anything that just looks at me expectantly. Obviously adorable.
Very cute.
But I do as I feed it. I want to know if I recognize it at all.
You can make a life science check for me.
Wonderful. Let's see what you are. Boom, 24.
A 24. You definitely know what this thing is. It's a fairly common pest and pet. It is a squawks. It is very cute. It is a cross between a fox and a squirrel, basically, for those at home imagining it. It's got cute little white and gray fur, big ol' ears. It's just the cutest little thing. You know that a lot of like kids like to keep them as pets, despite the fact that they are a real nuisance.
Aren't you just adorable? I say this in my actual voice and my mental voice because it's just overall adorable and I can't lie to myself. And I feed it a few crumbs and I turn back and I'll say, It seems we may have a squawks infestation, the most adorable kind, honestly. And I'll give it a few pets, but I'll leave it where it is. Because I know not to just mess with animals. And I'll keep looking around these staircases. But everybody knows there's a squawks there, okay? If you want to pet it, it's here.
Cam and Tam, what would you like to do as you make your way through the room?
Tam, he's specifically going to just look around the bar area, see if there's anything back there. And mainly he's just comparing to see if they're better stocked than we are down below, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm not even going to make you make a check for that. 100% they have better spirits up here than they give you downstairs. No question about it.
You see Tam's mustache just start twitching as it starts moving about. He grabs a couple space limes and just shoves them in his pockets for safekeeping until another day. He keeps moving on there. And again, just sort of just looking around to see if anything immediately sticks out. But he's keeping his guard up.
Gotcha. What's Cam doing, Michelle?
Cam is interested in the other creatures. Are they all the same creature, or do they look different?
They look different, and you're not sure if they're just differently sized squawkses or other creatures. So if you want to go look at them, you could make a perception or a life science check for me.
I would like to argue that I don't really care what they are, but I want to instead send a telepathic message to, I don't know, one of them that hasn't been talked to yet. And just be like, we're friends, help us.
Okay, you can cast telepathic message and send them a message.
I do it.
Okay, they receive the message, but they are not smart enough to respond.
Oh. Okay, that's it. That's my turn. I'll investigate also. I'll look around the room.
Okay, sure. Make a perception check for me.
15. Doing great.
15. So you don't see a ton else that hasn't already been seen, but you do see another sort of small furred creature come up to Gary and sort of look at Gary, look at them with wonder and amazement in their eyes. And it's weird looking at this because it looks like a very small version of Gary looking up at Big Gary.
Like a little tiny robot thing?
No, it's definitely alive, but it's the coloration kind of matches. It's got the little wings, it's got the kind of weaselly face.
Ah.
Gary, you have a new friend.
Maybe. We will see. I do not trust it.
I think it'd be very cute if you let it ride on your shoulder and keep it along for our adventures for the rest of the season.
This is generally against safety protocols, but you are correct. It would be very cute.
And think about how the guests would love to see that.
Gary will, I'll sort of extend my arm down to the floor with my palm out towards the creature.
It will sort of nervously sniff at your palm a little bit, and then it will hop up on it. Anyone looking at this creature, if you want to at this point, can make a life science check.
I will do that.
17.
17 for Cam, 24 for Hopper, though. So Hopper, as you look at this thing, you also see the similarities to Gary, and you realize that it is the creature which his, suit and chassis were sort of based off of. It is a small pet Ilskit that has met a larger version of itself and is in awe and wonderment. And you also agree with Cam's assertion that it would be extremely cute if Gary let it ride on their shoulders.
Gary, if I could just make a query. I know it's your protocol to protect Opulus, equipment, but also customer satisfaction must be within your mainframe. I truly think this would absolutely improve your interactions with our guests. See, I'll look back. Is the squawk still there?
The squawks is still there, yeah. You see a couple other, you see another Ilskit sort of come up and is sort of eyeing the squawks. But yeah, the squawks is still there.
Okay, wait, pause. Do Ilskits eat squawks real quick? Like, I'm trying to figure out, because you said I eat squawks.
No, not like that. They're just like,
okay,
they're just like, oh, a critter.
Wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was like, wait a minute. All right, so I'll go and if I can get these, they seem obviously as pets. If I can get these pets to come towards me and, stay in my hands, I want to demonstrate to Gary just how much cuter I look, just with these pets, in my presence.
Of course, that would be so cute. Listen, if you want to make a survival check to try and see if you can sort of coax these animals, I will give you a +2 bonus because you have snacks and you have, offered this squawk snacks, so it is a little bit more inclined to sort of be your friend.
All right, let's do it. Wow, 29.
A 29, yeah. So this squawks is your friend. These look like they are sort of all bred to be pets of some sort. So the squawks, yeah, sort of hops towards you, and if you lean down your hands, it will hop into your hands willingly enough.
And I'll show this to Gary, and I'll say, "See."
I do. I've updated my security protocols to put this Ilskit as the highest priority. I will now live and die for it, and I have named it Gary 2. Gary 2, do you agree? Yes, Gary 2 agrees.
I love it!
I shed a
So
tear
cute.
from how cute this is.
If you're shedding a tear, Tam is full on like crying. He's crying like into his shirt. He loves it.
And I'm in the corner clapping all 6 of my hands like, yes, this is the content we want. Thank you.
I am now not letting go of my squawks either because it hopped into my hand so quickly. I'll wait for it to leave, but I won't let it go,
And I do have a question, GM. Is there any particular reason why these creatures are up here? Are they usually just roaming about, or did they get out of somewhere?
That would be fairly unusual. If you want to look around, you can make a perception check just to sort of look around and figure out where these things might have come from.
Okay, so that is a 28.
28, yeah. So there's a couple of things that you notice with that. First of all, this is like sort of this big open area in the ship, and there's like several sort of rings of rooms and stores and things like that sort of go up above this central concourse. And you do see sort of up on the second floor a store that looks like it might have been a pet store at one point. So you see that these critters may have escaped in the chaos just that sort of resulted. Their cages may have broken open or something, because if there's one thing that the company can make money off of, it's children who drag their rich parents to the store and say, "Mommy, I want one."
Ah, right.
So you gather that might be the source that they came from, but as you're looking around and you're looking up at those stores, there's something else that you notice, which is, like I said, the central sort of focus of this thing is this huge 40-foot wide glass transparent aluminum tube with all this plant life and stuff in it. There's sort of this fog that's rolling out of it a little bit, like it was contained in it. And you realize that a couple of stories up, there's a big jagged crack in the glass, and there's this big hole in it that probably wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
I don't know. That's concerning, to say the least.
I sure hope it was something that happened during the accident and not something that punched a hole in the top. Should we go investigate?
Sure, do it.
I think so.
Try to figure out what's going on here.
I'll follow if you guys go first.
Well, Gary will, of course, go first.
This makes my stomach turn just a little bit.
All right. So I think I'll head the charge up to the tube hole.
Yeah, you can. So you can, the base of the tube is on the ground here. The crack in the big jagged hole is a couple stories up or so. But as you approach, you see that there's signage along the bottom that indicates, hey, look at the lovely things in this container, which you can go and check out if you'd like.
I do the thing. I do it.
Okay, great. So you go and you see the lovely, Opulos Entertainment signage, which informs the passengers that to enhance their enjoyment of their experience, they have provided them with some brand, newly discovered, very, very rare wildlife for them to, gawk at and enjoy, so they can enjoy the noble feathered sky sails that are, contained here. There are 2 here for them, of course. There are large, flying creatures. You see a photo. They're kind of feathery, but they're not feathers exactly. It looks almost like leaves that they're made up of. And as you're sort of approaching, this and looking and sharing this information with your group, Hopper, you hear just a very faint flapping noise behind you. And you turn, and the Ilskit that was making friends with your squawks is suddenly snatched up by a large flying creature. And that's where we'll leave it for this episode. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Oh, no.
Stop what you're doing, Alex.
Yeah, this is a crime.
It's not yours. It's not your Ilskit.
Nah.
It's a different one.
Okay, then I don't
Not cool.
God.
I'm gonna call the Starfinder police or whatever they are.
Starfinder,
Truly.
please.
Oh boy. Anyway, that's a lovely place to leave it, and we'll start next time with dealing with that problem. Oh boy. Thank you all so much for joining us for this wonderful episode of Starfinder Drift Crisis. We hope you all enjoyed the very cute animals, and nothing bad will happen to them next episode for sure, absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time in episode 6. Have a good night, y'all.